Well, we just got about 2 inches of rain in about a half hour. And the reason I know this is because I have a 300-gallon tote that was halfway full. And I figured that if I wanted to fill that from empty, I would need about 4 inches of rain coming off the roof to fill that up. Well, it was about half full when it started raining, and now it is full. Quite a bit of water coming from our bridge up here and then out by the street. But luckily, nothing got washed away. Didn't have to worry about the tractor, didn't have to worry about replacing any gravel. There's some more rain coming tonight. Hopefully it won't be as hard as it was this evening. I'm gonna have to get on Willow for not alerting us that the UPS driver was here. Well, hello, welcome back to Tale 3 Cabins. This is for Southern Ohio, and I'll show you what's inside of it in a couple weeks. It's something that might be a little long overdue of us using down there, and I think it's going to come in handy. But I do have something to show you, so why don't you come on inside. I had bought these shears from Stihl maybe about 4 years ago. They're actually pretty popular. They didn't have them at my Stihl dealer for at least a year and a half after they came out. And then I was up there one day looking for some chainsaw chains, and they had a bunch in stock, so I bought one. Now I was a little leery about using this thing. It only has a battery about that big. But the purpose of this is really for pruning stuff. It can handle a nice sized branch. It can handle a good 4-inch branch. Cut through it fairly easily, I might add. And I've been very happy with it. Fits well in the hand. It's lightweight, and this is really a lot of times my go-to when I need to trim something up really quick, especially down the driveway and especially down in Southern Ohio when we don't want to be too disruptive in the woods and we're clearing some shooting lanes for our tree stands and just prepping for deer season. This is always a must when I take it down there. Battery lasts quite a long time, but that's not the real reason why I wanted you to come in here. I was looking for something to clean the UTV down in Southern Ohio and also the lawnmower periodically. And also we had a little dilemma. When you do get a deer, it's usually cold out. We have a little problem with the hose in the wintertime when it's really cold outside. Where we hang the deer up and where the water source is in the house is pretty good distance away. Couple hundred feet of hose to actually get to where we hang up a deer. So a lot of times we would drag the deer up towards the house, rinse it out a little bit, take it and drag it back down to where we hang it up. And that works okay, but it's a little bit of a hassle. I was looking into these and I noticed that Stihl made one. There's some made by other manufacturers, but this is basically a handheld pressure washer. Now I did a little research on these. Most of the videos on YouTube talk about them, but they talk about them from the aspect of being a John Deere dealer and just telling you about the product. But I ended up going out and buying this because it's kind of what I was looking for. Now Ryobi makes something similar, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I was committed already to this little guy, and I had this battery, and I always thought it would be neat to have a couple more of these batteries. Not that I've gone through them at any hectic pace, but you know, they eventually get weak or die. And when I picked up this, again, this is a pressure washer, it came with two of these batteries. So I'm kind of in the Stihl world when it comes to the size of these batteries. So I thought, well, I'll get this. It's going to solve a few problems for me. And then I'll get a couple more of these with the purchase. It is a little bit rainy out there. There is some rain coming down on the metal roof, so bear with me a little bit. So when you do make this purchase, it comes in a box about this size. In that box, you're going to get, of course, the unit itself. It comes with a easy to remove tip that you can put an extension wand on, which is also easy to add. And then you can add your tip back to it. And the tip has 4 functions. It rotates here, and you basically have a pinpoint pressure washer type function. You almost have like a rainy type, if you're watering plants or something where you don't need a lot of pressure, you just want to rinse something off. Then you have a nozzle on here that's more of a flat, higher pressure. And you also have one that pulsates. You have 4 options on here. At the end, you don't have to pop off anything or pop anything back on. I have pressure washers where you have to put different tips on it, and it is a little bit of a pain to change those out. But everything is right here, and you just rotate it. Shaped kind of like a gun. It's very ergonomically, at least for me, it fits very nice in the hand, just like the pruner. There is a lock button on the side, so you cannot accidentally hit that trigger. There's also a battery indicator here on the front that'll give the status of how much power is left in your battery. There is an eco mode if you're not going to need a lot of pressure, that you could lower the pressure of whatever tip that you're using. So how to get water in this thing? So it comes with a fairly long hose. It's about 16.5 feet in length. Has quick connects on both ends. There's also a little filter here. How do you get water into this? I bought this with the intention that I'm not going to be able to hook it up to a high pressure residential spigot. So it has a pickup tube here, and you can either send that into a 5-gallon bucket if you don't have a 5-gallon bucket, or it will come with a container for you and you can fill this up. It says 1 gallon, but I bet you could get more than a gallon of water in here. And then you would put your pickup tube here. The hose that it comes with also has a little Velcro strap on it, and then it also has this clip that you can use to put on the edge of a bucket. It's not going to be flopping around, and you don't have to worry about it coming out of the water. Same thing, you could use this clip on this portable water bag. It comes with 2 batteries, so here's one. I got the second one on it. It comes with a charger, which is the same charger that I got with my pruner shears. So now I have 2 chargers. I could probably leave one down in Southern Ohio and leave one up here. You can also use this connection and put your favorite detergent in there, or a bleach, or whatever you want to do to disinfect something or clean something. But it's also got the quick connects on. It has an on and off. Then you have your manual and a nice little carrying case. I actually like this carrying case better than the shears. These always seem a little awkward to me, but there's Velcro here. Everything lays nicely in here, but just seemed like I'd rather have something like that. Now, I did mention that there weren't many YouTube video reviews on it unless there was a John Deere dealer that happened to be doing it. But I did see a guy that did a short on it, and he basically poo-pooed it. And that was kind of the driving factor why I ended up buying this, because the way he was comparing this is that he was comparing this to a larger pressure washer. And that would be like comparing this to this. And I'm obviously not going to cut down a large tree with this, where I am going to do it with this. So everything has a purpose. And it disturbed me a little bit because I think he just did that to drive up the clicks, because when people put a negative thing on YouTube, especially if it's a negative thing about their product and they have the thumbs down, some people are more apt to click on it. But I thought it was unfair and unjust, because this does have a purpose. According to Stihl, that this tip will put out somewhere in the range of 300 PSI. Now, again, if I'm comparing this to that chainsaw down there, and I'm comparing this to a 2000 PSI pressure washer, I don't think it's fair. But 300 PSI will clean muddy tires on a bicycle, or the UTV nicely, or the lawnmower nicely. And I tried it out in our front yard. We have some landscape bricks that go around. Every year they get moss on them. Used a couple of different tips on there, and basically I used the straight hard tip, and it cleaned the moss right off. And normally we do use a larger pressure washer to do that, but this was quicker and easier, and it was probably just the right amount of force, because the pressure washer almost like tears up too much, digs into the grass, creates much more mud, uses a lot more water, and this didn't do too bad. So I was impressed with that. Now, once you're in your ecosystem with these batteries, I've got 3 of them now. There are other products that still make that use these batteries. And another one is a trimmer. Trim your hedges, and then it also has another attachment where you could do edging and trim your edges around trees and stuff like that. So now that I'm kind of committed to this ecosystem, I can just buy the tool itself, and I don't have to buy the tool, the charger, and the battery. So that multi-trimmer comes in at $99, whereas if I wanted to buy the battery and everything again, it jumps it up to like $169 or $159, depending on your area and your dealers. I would like to purchase that trimmer. I think that'll make a nice addition to this set here, because when I do go down to Southern Ohio and we are pruning, there's a lot of times we're going through thickets. Again, it's lightweight, uses the same type of battery, and I think that's going to be very functional for us down in Southern Ohio. So I put it on order. I haven't gotten it yet. If it comes in before the end of this video, I'll show it to you. Now, Stihl calls these batteries AS2, so they do have a wide range of cordless battery operated products, but these are the smallest ones that they make, and they have a whole line of other products that you could use with these batteries. I just briefly mentioned the shears. I'm talking about the trimmer, and also, of course, the pressure washer here. Now, one thing I also noticed when I was at the dealer picking this up is that they make an extension wand for this pruner, and I'm debating about getting that. And it's kind of neat, somewhere around 7 feet. So you can get an extra 6-7 feet of reach using the extension. I just wanted to share those products with you. That doesn't necessarily have to be Stihl. Like as I said, Ryobi makes something like this. It's actually a little bit pricier than this product here. Ryobi states that their low pressure washer will do 600 PSI, where again, this does 300, but you kind of be the judge on my little test on the stones out there. Again, I'm not going to try to pressure wash a whole deck or our whole house. That's not what this is meant for. This is meant to be portable, especially if you're limited in your water source and you don't have a spigot nearby. 5 gallons will go a long way. But if someone should get a deer this year and we hang that deer right up, we can go right over there with this, a bucket of water, or even a gallon of water. And I think a gallon of water would be just fine to give it a quick rinse, put it on the lighter setting, and not have to worry about the hose freezing, rolling up 200 feet of hose. Very convenient, very easy to work with. But I just wanted to share that with you. I paid for these products. They weren't given to me. I have no affiliation with Stihl. Stihl usually does not do that anyways when it comes to sharing products or YouTube promotions or anything like that. This is just something that I'm using. I think they're handy. They serve a purpose. I don't think they're terrible price-wise. Economically, Stihl is premium price usually when you buy one of their tools or their chainsaws. If you compare this, there's a lot of cheap knockoffs out there, and they are cheap. Again, just remember what your project is. Will something of this nature, downsizing a little bit, help you out? Or do you need to go with something a little bit bigger? As I said, it varies, but these are so convenient, and I look forward to bringing this down to Southern Ohio. I have that water tank that I need to clean out, and this is going to work out perfect because I'm going to empty the water tank out, so I won't have a water source coming from the house. I won't be able to turn the pump on to pressurize the house. I can set aside a couple gallons of water, get inside that water tank, and give it a good all-around cleaning before we put some clean water back into it. So that is that. I appreciate everybody watching. I'll leave some links down below if you're interested in the product. Again, and if you have these battery-operated products, let me know. I'd like to hear what your opinion is of them. To me, I think they're great. Maybe some people have had not so good experiences with it. They also do make another battery-operated pressure washer. It is a little bit more pricier, but it does do close to 2,000 PSI, and it's more expensive. It's not portable like this. It's going to be a little bit bigger, but it is kind of neat. Everything's self-contained. Very popular. When I went to go down and pick this up, when I talked to the guy on the phone, he thought I was talking about this other pressure washer, and he said that they cannot keep them on the shelf, that as soon as they get them in, people are buying them up. And then using these tools down to Southern Ohio, of course, they're battery operated, so they don't make a lot of noise. When we're in the woods, we're a little bit more stealthy. I don't feel so bad about doing work down there, especially closer to hunting season and spooking the deer, because we are fairly quiet. It just doesn't make a big ruckus in the woods. Also, there's lower maintenance. You really just put a dab of cooking oil or a little bit of chainsaw bar oil on here. Same thing with the trimmers. Other than that, though, you don't have to worry about oil gas mixtures. You don't have to worry about carburetors getting clogged up. A lot less maintenance. This battery's 4 years old and it's still working like a champ. I haven't noticed any deficiency in the length of time that I'm using it. Of course, all these batteries are going to eventually go dead. And then maybe the next time I buy one of the tools, I'll buy it with 2 more batteries and refresh my battery supply. But that is going to do it for today. I appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoy and subscribe to these videos. Click on that little bell when you want to know when new one's coming out. And keep an eye on us. We're going to be taking those boxes down to Southern Ohio next week. We got a heat wave coming. It's supposed to be up in the mid-90s. We need to clean that water tank out. I'm not sure how much work we're going to get done down there and just how much time we're going to have with the way the weather's going to be heat-wise. We're not going to try to kill ourselves, but we want to get that tank cleaned. I want to put my new pickup truck to the test and fill it up with about 300 gallons of water. I'm going to go get a couple water deliveries. So there's a lot going on. We're trying to squeeze these chores in before the 4th of July. So we'll see you down in Southern Ohio next time.